I have traveled far and wide, through able hands and eyes that dream, into the bookshelves of the well-known. Perched amidst success stories I gleam. I speak of grit and determination. I tell a story of perseverance that took root in the arid land of wild, unkempt cacti and went on to become a saga of guts and glory. I narrate the story of a visionary who dreamed, believed, and succeeded. Meet Shantanurao Kirloskar. It was, however, his father he looked up to. Being the son of the legendary Shantanurao Kirloskar itself was a huge benchmark to match. It was perhaps the constant fire within that didn't let Shantanurao sleep until he tamed and transformed the 32-acre barren land that bore nothing but cacti into a land of rosy opportunities. The hamlet so created was called as Kirloskar, a name that will forever be carved in history as an example of entrepreneurship, innovation, and self-reliance. Though this was not where the Kirloskar success story began, it began in Belgaum, in a small bicycle shop set up by Shantanurao in 1896. As the business grew, he printed letterheads in the name of Kirloskar brothers for securing the dealership for Belgaum from the bicycle manufacturers in UK. Who would have thought that this small venture would eventually blossom into a group of companies with branches all over the world under the clever leadership of SLK? Though to expect anything less from a man who had sketched an oil engine at the tender age of 8 and had become an institution and a legend in his own lifetime would be so unfair. He had said, "I would serve my country and lift her out of her poverty and bondage in the manner which to me seemed wisest, most efficacious, and most efficient." SLK was amongst the first Indians to have graduated from the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, in 1926, where he earned his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. SLK took charge of Kirloskar Brothers, KBL, in the mid-1930s from his father, and building on his father's foundation, also incorporated Mysore Kirloskar Limited, MKL, in 1940, Kirloskar Oil Engines, KOEL, in 1946, and Kirloskar Cummins Limited, KCL, in 1962. Not to forget Kirloskar Pneumatic Company Limited, that was established in 1958 after the group became the proud manufacturer of India's first air compressor. SLK perceived collaborations as a means to take a long and quick step forward. The technical know-how that the collaborators brought along helped save time and millions in cost of development. Some of the best collaborations included the ones with Parry's, Brush, Associated British Oil Engines Export Limited, Cummins, Alfred Herbert and Company, Tecumseh, Broom and Wade, and many more. His business acumen helped Kirloskar Engines secure a coveted place in multiple applications in India and markets overseas. Perhaps SLK was already living the Make in India dream we all so passionately talk about today, much like his idol Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who had inspired the Swadeshi movement. SLK's faith in our country's potential to produce the finest was immense. He proved it to the world too, that was now taking cognizance of what we as a nation could produce. The first consignment of diesel engines was exported to Germany in 1954, and in 1957 he became the chairman of Engineering Export Promotion Council. Despite the many hurdles he faced, his foresight and a global perspective helped the Kirloskar Group grow by 32,000% in the period between 1951 and 1991, one of the highest growth rates in Indian history. He was honored with the Padma Bhushan award in 1965. He believed that industrialization was the key to India's political and economic independence. He would often say, "Economic preparedness is as vital as military preparedness." He was disappointed with the political system of the country and focused on building his enterprise to create jobs, improve the quality of life, and eventually build an economically strong nation. His inclination towards promoting cleanliness and building a better life for all prompted him to initiate a movement called Swachh Sundar Shara. SLK's views were in favor of technological progress and industrialization. He said, "I see the machine as the friend and helper of man, not as a demon devised for man's economic and spiritual destruction. I therefore resolve to concentrate on the sound management of our enterprise, build better machines, create more jobs, and leave politics to our politicians." When globalization was yet to become the buzzword, he had already set up offices in Rotterdam, Holland, Mauritius, and Thailand. Assembly plants were set up in Malaysia and Philippines to foster a robust network of distributors to cater to global markets. When the government finally liberalized the Indian economy, converting many of his suggestions into policies in the early 90s, he wished he was 60 years younger. Like his father, SLK too was always ahead of his time. So were their products. Not surprising then, it was Kirloskars who gave India its many firsts. The first iron plough, the first centrifugal pump, the first diesel engine, the first electric motor, the first lathe, and many more. And also a legacy of visionaries. I am humbled to have been able to narrate the story of this extraordinary man who brought about an industrial revolution. But to encapsulate the tireless work of the legend is impossible. An engineer, a technocrat, a golfer, an economist, an artist, a photographer, and the patriarch of India's largest industrial empire, he donned many a hats successfully. He was a simple family man who supported his wife Yamutai in her social work and took great pride in the capabilities and engineering prowess of his sons Chandrakant and Shrikant Kirloskar. Even as younger Kirloskars assumed important roles in core companies, SLK continued to contribute towards the growth of the company. As he aptly replied when asked how he felt at 79, "I feel fine. The old machine is still running faithfully. After all, it's a Kirloskar product." Shantanurao Kirloskar, thinker, doer, visionary.